Please come.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
You are on Anusha.
Anusha.
No? Please take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
Anusha, I think we are at a very safe distance. There is may not be any requirement for you unless you are otherwise apprehensive.
No, sir. I'm fine. I'll remove the mask.
You can remove your mask so that you can take up the interview. You have been vaccinated?
Yes, sir.
We are also vaccinated. Don't worry.
Yes.
Anusha, you belong to?
Sir, I'm a native of Chennai.
Chennai.
Yes, sir.
Can you give me a very deep introduction about you?
Sir, I belong to Chennai, but I have been brought up in Delhi. And I did my master's in chemistry. I completed in 2016 from IIT Roorkee. And bachelor's I did from TU. In 2013, I completed it. Post that, I entered into education sector. I have been teaching for a few years. And simultaneously, I did my bachelor's in education. It was a demand of my job. And again, I have continued my teaching career.
So currently you're working somewhere?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in which organization?
It is also a teaching, education, coaching plus schooling.
So which subject you teach?
I teach chemistry.
Chemistry.
Anusha, being a lady,
Yes.
this academics is a very ideal career for you, and you have been working in some organization, as you say. So what made you switch over to a bank, financial institution altogether?
Sir, my interest towards banking, my orientation started after my completion of masters. So I've been trying for banking sector since 2018 after completion of my masters. I started developing interest towards banking and finance.
Particular reason for that? Any specific reasons why you are?
So there's no particular reason behind it, but I have been, I first started it as trying to research about the stock market, and slowly I started moving towards banking. So that's how my interest grew towards.
Are you maintaining any account with any bank, public sector
yes,
bank?
Yes, sir, I do.
In which bank?
State Bank of India.
State Bank of India. What type of account you have?
So I have savings account.
Same one. Give me a very frank, very honest feedback. As a customer, what is your perception about public sector banks and its work culture?
So public sector banks, as we have seen, they have improved. Like I am holding.
A bit louder, please.
Thoda sa you raise your
voice. Raise your.
Okay, sir.
It should be audible, no?
Okay. Sir, I have been having this account since last 5 to 6 years, and I've seen that the kind of service that we get is different depending upon the region. Earlier, I was having it in a suburban city like Roorkee. So there, the kind of service was different, but here in Delhi, I'm getting good service.
So any drawback in the banking sector, in the banking services especially?
Ma'am, nothing as such in my branch.
How you can improve the services in the banking industry, the basic services for the customer?
Ma'am, more technical development is to be done.
Technology.
Technology and more digitization of the services, and awareness among the citizens are to be created to rely upon those digital internet banking services.
Have you heard that Reserve Bank of India is going to, they have already completed the pilot, this thing, and they are going to introduce a digital rupee, e-rupee, which we call. So can you explain to me how it is different from crypto, and what kind of, what will be the nature of the this thing, that is when they come out, how they are going to, what are the mechanisms involved in it?
So I've heard about it, but I do not know the exact difference between that digi money and cryptocurrency. I'm not aware of
which technology it is based, crypto?
So it's based on blockchain technology, the cryptocurrency.
Okay, one more thing you said, tell me, that in the recent budget, last budget, they had imposed, the government of India had imposed 30% tax on the capital gains in cryptocurrency transactions.
Yes, sir.
Does it mean that we have legalized crypto in India?
No, sir. Government of India has not legalized the cryptocurrency yet. But on any such digital transactions, as the government has said, they'll be imposing 30% tax on profit which is earned. So that does not mean that cryptocurrency has been legalized yet.
Sir.
Priority sector lending के बारे में आप क्या जानते हैं?
So banks are supposed to provide certain percentage of loans to sectors like agricultural sector and allied sectors, to women and self-help groups. So like that, they have certain percentages of loan, certain targets they have, and that is known as priority sector.
Which are the sectors covered under priority sector? Which are the sectors?
So right now, I'm not aware of the list of sectors.
You have any knowledge about agricultural sector? How much target has been allocated to
So
agricultural
exact
sector?
value, I'm not able to recall now.
You have knowledge that what are the popular agricultural products which banks extend to the farmers?
So agricultural base, like we have chemical fertilizer based sectors are there. Dairy farming,
No, no.
dairy sector.
What are the
Loan products.
Banks loan products? जैसे KCC है, KCC or what?
Kisan credit card, yes.
Kisan credit card, what type of loan it is? And RBI has recently taken some initiatives in this direction. Can you tell me what it is?
So no, I'm not aware of
How
it.
much loan can a farmer take without collateral in a Kisan credit card?
So I think it's up to 10 lakh rupees without collateral.
10 lakh rupees without collateral.
Collateral without giving any additional
Do you
security.
understand what is a collateral securities?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the difference between a primary security and a collateral security? Bank, when those type of any loan I do, there are two types of securities, no? One is primary and the other is collateral.
Okay.
Do you understand the distinction?
No, sir. I don't.
Do you understand what is hypothecation?
No, sir.
Pledge?
Sorry.
Mortgage.
Mortgages, yes.
Please
So-
explain.
So mortgage is like the kind of collateral or a security which we deposit with the bank when we are availing any credit or loans from the bank.
But
So,
I can pledge gold also. So then what is the difference between mortgage and pledge?
the difference, I'm not aware of it. I'm sorry.
Equitable mortgage, have you heard? No, nothing.
Do you use UPI?
I do.
Which app do you use for UPI?
So Google Pay.
Google Pay. What is the daily limit of transaction that you can do in a Google Pay? Can you send unlimited amount in Google Pay in one day?
So no, we have certain transaction limit.
What is that limit?
So I think it is 10,000 rupees.
The number of
The
transactions.
number of transactions also, there are some limitations.
So
How
it
many
is there,
per day?
but the exact number I'm not aware of it.
Is it 10,000 or is it 1 lakh rupees?
So it must be 1 lakh. 10,000 is very less.
If you have gone through the newspaper recently, just I think 1 or 2 days back, there was some very important news about UPI.
Okay.
Okay, Government of India is trying to encourage, and Ministry of Finance, they have RBI wanted that some charges should be levied as far as the banks are concerned. But Government of India is not in agreement with Reserve Bank of India, and they say that
Do you think
Having-
it is a sustainable model? UPI, there is no payment, right? There is no transaction cost a person
Yes.
is giving. Is it a sustainable model?
So it is a sustainable model, and recently, as sir is saying, there was some news. The news which I have come across is that even the non-residential Indians can use UPI. So, and it is sustainable model because many youngsters are using it. We don't have to carry the currency, and currency, it is definitely going to save the environment as well.
In UPI, one big advantage is that the money is immediately received by the person,
Yes, sir.
right? In IMPS also, money is immediately received. So tell me two differences between UPI and IMPS.
So in IMPS, there is a time limit within which only within the banking operational time we can send through IMPS, whereas it's not the case.
Is it
with
like that?
UPI.
Can we send only during the banking hours in IMPS?
So according to me, yes.
you are not aware.
Yes.
So what is NACH? Have you heard about
It's
NACH?
clearance house.
What is the full form of that?
I'm not aware of it.
Before NACH, what did we use? NACH is the new thing. Before for recurring payments, before NACH, did we use anything else?
So I'm not aware.
Okay, you know something about reverse repo?
Yes, sir.
What is that? Can you explain to me?
So if any bank is having excess more than enough payment liquidity with it, then that it can place it with the Reserve Bank of India, and the Reserve Bank will pay some interest to it. That is called the reverse repo rate.
Then if the banks are having surplus funds with them, why they park with RBI? What is the reverse repo rate now?
So I'm not aware of the
Not
rate.
aware. It's very nominal. कितना है? 3.35.
3.35.
Okay.
Okay, tell me one thing. If I am a bank and I have lot of surplus cash, I can do standing deposit facility also where I will get a healthy 6%. Why do I have to be content with only 3.35%? In SDF also I am parking the money with the RBI only.
Yes, sir.
Then why I will choose reverse repo over SDF when I'm getting 6% there? Isn't it a loss?
That window has been opened by Reserve Bank, no?
SDF
Why it
also
has been
has
no?
not
Then
allowed
why
Reserve Bank.
shouldn't the bank on this
I would be very happy earning 6% over 3.35%. So why do I choose reverse repo? What is the difference, that critical difference between SDF and reverse repo?
So I'm not aware.
What is a marginal standing facility?
So it is quite similar to the liquidity adjustment facility, wherein if there is, again, if the bank does not have liquid asset, then it borrows from the Reserve Bank of India.
What is the difference between repo and marginal standing facility? That is also a short-term money market. This is also a short-term money market. What is the difference?
So, not aware.
So what is
Yeah.
CRR? The
Cash-
current percentage
cash
of CRR
reserve
and what
ratio.
is the CRR?
Ma'am, CRR is cash reserve ratio, and the current percentage, I don't have knowledge of it as of now.
So then what is the difference between CRR and SLR? Because in both you have to set
So-
aside a certain,
Yes, sir.
right?
But
So-
give a
It's,
very fundamental one.
Yeah.
So in cash reserve ratio, it is to be maintained with the Reserve Bank of India, and whereas SLR, the liquidity asset which the bank maintains with itself, so that in case of any unanticipated bank run or any such situation, it can face it.
CRR in cash form and this is in non-cash form, like
Non-cash.
securities.
Yes, government security.
Your
So
financial inclusion, you have not gone through.
financial
very
inclusion, the
important
term I'm
nowadays.
aware of it, but this term I have
What
not
is
heard.
financial inclusion? Please
Kuch
explain.
idea? What is a financial inclusion?
Sir, financial inclusion includes like making each and every person, those even in the rural area and suburban area, to make use of the banking services and other financial services.
So what is BSBD account? Have you heard about BSBD?
Ma'am, it is a basic banking service providing account. It is opened at zero balance.
Zero balance.
Yes.
There is no minimum stipulation. That no frill concept has been totally dispensed with. There is no minimum. Maybe 0, maybe 10, maybe 100, whatever it is. Not exactly 0.
Okay.
Okay. What other criteria is there? Our key features.
So not aware.
Suppose I want to maintain a balance of 60,000. Can I? Will it be permitted in that account?
So there is some upper limit.
What is that upper limit?
So I think it's 1.5 lakhs.
That is, you are talking of there is two different criteria. No, one is turnover criteria. The other is the maximum balance you are supposed to keep.
Okay.
If 50,000 in the how it is different from a saving fund account? BSBD or general saving fund. Can you give me one major difference
So
as far as KYC is concerned? Okay.
okay. The major difference I'm not aware of.
What is metaverse? What is metaverse? Have you heard the word metaverse?
Cross check. Any idea about cross check? What is a cross check?
Cross check. It's a cancelled check which is
No,
provided.
suppose I put two parallel lines in the cross कर देता हूँ. Does it imply something? It has specific.
So it's generally just given when we have to give a proof of our balance, bank account number, etc. But a cross check, it is not
In check,
acceptable.
actually, we draw two lines in
Yes,
the
ma'am.
left side, left corner, upper corner. And what is that?
Two parallel
meaning?
lines and
Significance.
क्या है? कुछ पता है?
Yes.
What is the main difference between a check and a draft?
So check, it is like it is a note which is given that a check, we address the name of the person who can draw amount. It whereas the demand draft or the draft, it is generally for paying to an institution.
Can I endorse it? If suppose a demand draft, can it be endorsed in some others? Suppose I have a demand draft. Can I endorse in his favor?
No, sir.
Can a draft get bounced?
No, sir. Cannot
Why
be
not?
bounced. So because we pay amount to the bank and we draw the draft, so it cannot be bounced. Whereas
So
check.
that is a main difference, right?
Okay.
In check, it can get
It
bounced
can get
because we have
bounced.
not drawn the amount first. In draft, we pay and then draft is made.
You have heard about payment banks and small banks, small finance banks,
Payment bank, yes,
small
but
finance
not
banks.
small banks.
Okay, you are from Chennai. So in near your home is also in Chennai.
Yes, sir, it is in Chennai and another district's border.
So near your home, is there any branch of any neobank?
Neobank.
What is a neobank?
Some
The word neo means what?
new. Neo means new.
So it's a new type of bank. But what is that type? Can you think about it? What it could be? If I'm saying this is a new type of bank, something we have not seen before, what could it be? Can you guess a little bit?
So since you're asking me to guess, maybe it is a bank which has no physical branch, and they ensure that the services are sustainable.
So that is a neobank. So how there can be a branch?
Without any
Physical branch.
It is a completely digital bank
Okay.
with no branches.
completely digitized.
Completely digitized bank.
Okay.
And you mentioned that you have an account in the State Bank of India.
Yes, sir.
In the public sector banks, are there any reforms which Reserve Bank of India has started to make their delivery excellent in at par with the private banks? Any special reforms RBI has started?
So recently, I have not heard of any such thing.
Have you heard about ease reforms?
No, sir.
Actually, you used to teach chemistry, right? Currently, even you are
I'm
teaching
teaching chemistry.
So, you like physical chemistry, organic or inorganic?
Physical.
Physical. Okay. Can you tell me the formula of benzene?
It's C6H6.
Fine.
As a chemistry person, how can you help in banking? Like tomorrow you become, let's say, PO, then assistant manager in a bank. How do you think your knowledge can be helpful in banking?
So chemistry, it is a subject which deals with analysis. We have a lot of data, and we do data analysis. So that can
So
help in
what
one
kind
way in
of
banking.
data analysis do you do in chemistry?
So it's an experimental subject. So we take enough data and then we analyze to come to a conclusion. So data
Can you
analysis.
give me an example of where you take data and then you come to some analysis?
So like for
Because
example,
the chemistry that we studied was very different, maybe where there was no data involved. No. Like even during the school, the chemistry that we studied, of course, she has studied at a much bigger level, but I'm not aware actually. So can you guide me how you use analytic data in chemistry and how you analyze it, and draw the parallel with banking sector so that you have sufficient backing to say that you can do similar in banking?
so data, as you have asked, it is involved in practical chemistry. Since as we move to higher classes, we more get involved into practical science than theoretical ones. So there are many practicals which we do on a day-to-day basis. The most simplest one, like for example, the acid-base titrations that we are doing. So we take data after every few seconds, after every fixed time intervals, and then we come to a conclusion based on that data only. So in banking also, as we are completely dealing with data and we have to keep ourselves updated with the data, and we have to be dynamic as the sector is changing. So these factors are quite, we can say, similar to science, chemistry, and banking.
Any disadvantage you feel being a person from science or chemistry in in banking sector, that you are at a disadvantaged position with respect to anything? Any challenge that you foresee that you can have in the banking sector? Any special challenge that you will have to overcome, especially during the initial 2-3 years?
So in the banking sector, as certain terms are there which a commerce background student may understand better, but we may take it some more time to understand it as we are from a different background. But yeah, I'm quite confident that we can learn it as well very
You
quickly.
will be groomed in that.
Yeah, we do have enough
to
training
acquire
sessions.
that professional.
Any hobbies, Anusha, you are having?
I do sketching, ma'am.
Anusha, you know something about NPA? What is NPA?
Non-performing assets.
What is that?
So if loan is given to any organization or to a person, and if it is not paid back up to 90 days, so that becomes a
Does
non-performing.
it apply to agriculture sector as well?
So
For agriculture, suppose you have given an agricultural loan, short term or long term.
Yes, sir.
Do the same criteria apply here also, or it's something different?
So I think it should be applied in agricultural sector as well. But I'm not
You are
very
not
sure.
aware of.
No.
What is a stressed asset? What is the difference between a stressed asset and NPA?
So stress assets are those loans assets which are given, I think, which have not been which have been unpaid before till 90 days, and beyond 90 days they are declared as NPA.
They have already become NPA, but banks, they put it under the carpet. They don't classify because they have to. They evade provisions. Provisioning has got a direct adverse impact on your profitability. No. What are the sources of a profit in a bank?
So the first is the profit which it makes by lending loans, and they also do investments in equities, shares of companies and other banks,
What
and
are
government securities also they invest, the banks.
And what about non-interest income?
Non-interest.
Other than interest income, any other source you can foresee? Just say banks are doing insurance, capital services,
Bank assurance, selling
or
third-party
your,
products.
government business.
So many of the banks are also
All banks
depository
almost.
service providers. So that is also a non-interest income.
When lending is a primary core activity from which they can generate profit, what is the need for them to diversify their this thing in all these things, which is not their core area? Insurance company थोड़ी banking कर रहा है. Then why banks are doing insurance?
So because bank
क्या
has a
problem
very good public base, a lot of customers are there. So if these services, insurance services and mutual funding services are provided by the bank, then they can attract more customers.
You have heard something called venture capital? Venture capital.
Yes.
Have you heard about angel investor?
Yes.
What is an angel investor?
So a person who invests for any new the word I'm not able to recall right now.
So basically, venture capital is a larger form of angel investing.
Okay.
Basically, initially if you are starting a company, you will raise money from angel investor. That is
Yes.
why he's called angel. He has come to you like an angel. When nobody is trusting you, he is the first one. He will write the first check for you. Then, of course, if you need bigger capital, then you will swap your equity in the company for a larger capital. That is venture capital.
Anusha, you are in touch with newspapers? You go through newspapers?
So not on regular basis.
Okay. In the last couple of days, you must have seen in the newspaper that the Supreme Court has imposed some curb on your right to speech. Can you highlight something about that?
So I'm sorry, I haven't read that news yet.
Right to speech is fundamental rights, you know. What is
Yes,
a fundamental rights? किसको बोलते हैं fundamental right?
So there are 7 fundamental rights which are
Why we
given.
call it a fundamental right?
So because these are necessary for survival, these are the basic rights which are to be given to a citizen of a nation, being a democratic country.
How many types of fundamental rights
There
are
are
there?
7 types of fundamental rights.
7
Yes.
or 6?
6, sorry. 6.
Which fundamental right can be deleted later on?
So right to property was first added in fundamental right, was later on removed from there. So it's a legal right.
Anusha, why do you feel you should be selected as PO?
Sir, because I think the qualities which are required as a bank PO, as a banking person, like they should have good communication skill, patience, integrity, honesty. So I believe these qualities I possess. And I have been teaching for more than 2 years. So the teaching field wherein we interact with a lot of public, we do also have targets and we fulfill those targets within those particular time. So these are quite similar to the job profile of a banker.
Anishi, there are many female bankers. They have excelled in their field.
Yes, sir.
So, whom would you like to emulate as your role model?
Any female
Any
bankers
female bankers
you like?
Maybe private or
Any in the
So I'm
banking
not
industry.
aware of the name, but the State Bank of India's,
किसका था? Who are the?
I don't know exactly her name.
Arundhati Bhattacharya.
Arundhati Bhattacharya. Correct.
चलिए
Sorry.
चलिए सर कुछ और कुछ anything? Anusha, is a very lively interaction with you, and we'll be getting a feedback.
Actually, eye contact was very good. Com skills was very good. नॉलेज भी आपका इट वाज लाइक सही था नॉलेज, थोड़ा सा आप और अगर उस पर वर्क ऑन करोगे तो आई थिंक यू विल बी गेट अ बेटर चांस. अदरवाइज नॉलेज वाइज, ओपिनियन वाइज इट वाज.
You are meant for a service industry. अच्छा है तुम्हारा माना. You are smiling. You are this thing.
2-3 things I will add, however.
Yes, sir.
One is that there are some very low-hanging fruits that you are not able to. For example, what is repo? How much is repo rate? How much is reverse
These are
repo?
very. You are
I think
supposed to
these
know.
are very
Basic.
basic things which I
Yes.
expect you to know. Second thing is, whenever a question is asked, don't immediately say I don't know. You know, within like it was like a rapid fire. You know, as soon as you ask a question, if you don't have any idea about it or something, you make an attempt. You know, or at least portray that you are making an attempt. You know, you think okay, something like okay, and then you say not sure. Rather, what was happening was, as soon as a question is put to you, like
Saying
no,
that
like,
bluntly saying that
yeah.
I do not know.
Uh-huh.
You said I
You're
should have known, but I am sorry, I am not aware
I'm
at the
trying
moment.
to
I'm
recall
trying.
it
I
or
can't
something
recall.
like
I cannot recall
and
at
keep
the
changing it. Like
Something
once you say not sure, once you say sorry, can't recall, something like that.
Some type of
And-
regret should also be on your face.
No, and the thing is, don't say it immediately. Like it's like a question is put to you, and if you don't know, you immediately say no, I don't
तो
know.
थोड़ा
No.
सा ये हो जाता है.
Make an attempt. Show that you are thinking about it. You know, that is very important.
and how is your teaching profession is relevant to the banking. तो वो थोड़ा सा आप उसको कनेक्ट करिएगा कि आप कैसे.
And I think there were some questions where you know you either didn't know or you were not very confident. So in that, it's better to say I don't know or I'm not sure, rather than say I think it is like IBPS question.
It is better to be
You are-
honest.
you are still-
Intellectual honesty should be there.
Yeah, yeah.
Contest का
Because-
नहीं भी avoid.
Yeah.
So
Sorry,
in certain questions, like I had inadequate knowledge. Like I wanted to answer but did not have the exact data. So in that case, I have used I think.
No,
So
for
whether
example,
should
that
we-
IBPS question,
Yeah.
you said that I think it is there only during
So it's
banking
not able
hours.
to properly
this-
recall.
So these things have to be avoided, because what can happen is the good work that you have done can be undone by some of these things.
Plus, you have to brush up your
basic
knowledge.
thing here, basic जैसे RTGS, NEFT,
हाँ.
ECS,
I'll brush up.
UPI,
Different remittance modes
Yeah.
and other things.
monetary policies, repo rate वगैरह.
Yeah, these are basics.
Monetary and credit policy very
Government
important.
schemes.
Yeah.
Financial
That
inclusion.
Yeah.
Check,
But I think you are
NPA.
80-85% you are there. I think very little work you require. I think, and you have time.
You have time,
The best.
enough time.
Last, if you compare it with last year there was practically no time between the mains and result and
Getting up.
interviews. This time you have time. So what I would like is, in the next 10 to 15 days, you brush up on some of the recent things that have happened in the banking sector,
Okay.
especially with respect to monetary policy, RBI, as MEMAS, NACH, ECH, some of these things, because recurring payment is becoming the norm. You study about UPI also,
Okay.
right? You said limit is 10,000 rupees. It is not
A lot
acceptable.
of things.
You know,
UPI Lite has come.
Yeah,
Some of the
UPI 123 pay has
1,
come,
2, 3 has
right?
These things
I'll update.
thoroughly-
Yeah, because UPI is now on everybody's lips. I cannot imagine a IBPS interview in which some sort of reference to any digital payment is not there. So this you brush up, but I think 100% you will get
Even the
selected.
growth in UPI has been very phenomenal. हमारा जो number of transactions.
Yeah.
This is,
True, yeah.
The world is now UPI को other countries are also
Yes.
trying to
Adopted.
recently adopted that. That
Yes.
is something.
Even Arabian countries, Arab countries are now.
They are
there.
asking for.
Yeah.
This is.
You are almost there, I think.
Thank you.
You have one foot into
Very nice
one
introduction.
foot into the banking office.
All the best. Anusha.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
दोस्तों अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छी लगी हो तो आप जा सकते हो adda247.com पर। आपको कुछ इस तरह से इंटरफेस दिखेगा और आपको आना है SBI PO पर। आपको SBI PO के ऊपर क्लिक करना है। देन आपको यहाँ पे दिख रहा होगा SBI PO 22-23 कंप्लीट इंटरव्यू प्रिपरेशन बैच। आपको इसके ऊपर जाना है, क्लिक करना है। देन आपको ये क्या दिख जाएगा, ये प्रॉपर बैच के बारे में सारा डिटेल आपको अपडेट हो जाएगा। और यहाँ पर आपको जाना है बाय नाउ पे। बाय नाउ पर जाके आपको करना क्या है, आपको ये दिख रहा होगा इंटर कूपन कोड। आपको कूपन कोड इंटर करना है, क्या आपको कोड अप्लाई करना है Y307। Y307 कोड अप्लाई करके आप देख सकते हो ये बैच हो जाएगा आपका 1839 का। गाइज आपको बता दें इस बैच में आपको क्लासेस भी अवेलेबल हो रही हैं। आपको क्लासेस इन द सेंस की पर्सनालिटी डेवलप पीडी की क्लासेस भी मिलेंगी, आपको करंट बैंकिंग न्यूज और करंट अफेयर्स की भी क्लासेस आपको अवेलेबल होंगी। साथ ही साथ आपको पैनलिस्ट की भी क्लासेस अवेलेबल होंगी, यानी कि जो आपको जैसे चीजें सपोज दैट आपके आउटफिट के ऊपर या फिर आप बियर्ड रख सकते हो नहीं रख सकते हो, ये सारी चीजें आपको इस वीडियो में यानी इस पर्टिकुलर बैच में आपको डिटेल में अपडेट कराया जाएगा, बताया जाएगा। और साथ ही साथ इस बैच में सबसे बड़ी बात क्या है, आपका 1-on-1 मॉक अवेलेबल है। वन ऑन वन मॉक का मतलब क्या, जिसमें आपके जो पैनल होंगे, आपकी जो पैनल पिक्चर दिख रही है, सभी पैनल आपके सामने जूम के थ्रू आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हो उनको, और आपको एक एक चीजें अपडेट कराई जाएंगी। आपको जो आपने आंसर दिया उस आंसर के बारे में भी आपको अपडेट कराया जाएगा। तो गाइस फटाफट जाइए और एनरोल कराइए अड्डा 24/7 के ऑफिशियल वेबसाइट पर। थैंक यू।